here with Clinton Bramston, the owner of Bamboo South Coast. And Clinton, looking at the property, there's a lot of tropical plants, but in amongst that, you've got a different design philosophy around how to use plants in a landscape, not just having a specific themed garden.
Yeah, over the years, 30 years of gardening, my taste has definitely changed. It was always at the start just, tropical all the way. But as you grow, you sort of get to like other plants. And a little example of this garden here that I've done, you can see, I'm a really big fan of using all different species, not just exotics, but like natives and particularly edibles, as you see.
Clinton, using different types of plants, here you've got a really great selection of some fantastic cacti and succulents.
Yep.
And some of these are really quite special. They link back to your travels as well. One I find really interesting is the Sansevieria, which is up behind you and just down here. Elephant dental floss.
Yeah. So this, I'm huge on finding things and being inspired from different places. I love travel so much, but especially plants. I'll tend to get to a new city and go and visit the botanic garden straight away, and you get a real feel for the climate and how dry it is, or it really tells about an area, what sort of plants are growing there. This guy here, this is it's Sansevieria cylindrica, or the elephant tusk. The elephants actually use that to clean their mouth. So I've seen that growing in Africa, and I thought that was a really cool plant. And it seems to grow okay here. And in the background, I just wanted to talk about these opuntias. You might see these are a bit of a typical kind of weed that you see growing on the side of the road. The fruit's really useful, but
this one's not bad.
This one's a spineless variety, so it's a good one to have in your garden. You don't get the aggressive spines that you get on the one that's the weedy one. And then you've got the Mexican the European fan palm over the back here. I saw them in Croatia last year, and they really inspired me to, add in like a different layer of palm to a typical cactus garden. So, yeah.
And with the cacti and succulents, so people often they're looking for no maintenance gardens or low maintenance gardens. I don't believe there's any such thing as a no maintenance garden.
There's definitely not. You can see by the weeds if you zoom in, which don't please. There's plenty of weeds in these gardens, so there's still a bit of work, but
relatively low maintenance.
Yeah, a lot of these plants will handle an Australian climate even better than our native plants. They'll go through a 9-month drought with no water. They're just absolutely incredible and still be green.
And like the tropical plants throughout the property, foliage plays a big part, but there's also flowering plants that you can have in amongst them.
Well, these guys here, the African aloe trees are definitely worth a look at if you're a keen gardener. The flowers on these are extraordinary. You'll get 2 or 3 months out of them, and I'll get the honey eaters and all the local birds will come and just hang on them for months. They're all the nectar eating birds, but the flowers are quite extraordinary.
So there's always something.
Always something interesting happening, and that's the key to it all. Is you can look at it like a piece of good art, and you can look into it and read different things, and you're always finding new stuff. That's what I love about art as well,
And the good thing with the garden too, being so dynamic, it's always changing. So
absolutely,
as your tastes change, you can change the garden up with that as well.
Yeah, it's okay for plants. I find for plants to die out, and then other things kind of take over. There's a thing I'll touch on this, there's a thing in coral reefs. I used to do a lot of reef, collecting for fish tanks. It's called sweepstakes dispersal. So when something dies, the first group of spores that land in that area colonize. So that happens with gardens a little bit, with seeds. You'll get like 3 years of, acacia trees growing, and then 5 years later a fire goes through and then there's all melaleucas growing, that's what happens it's okay for it to change constantly, the landscape. So it's the same with the garden.
And you just have to move with those changes.
You just let it happen.
The trick's to look for good in every change.
Yep.